Yo, what's up? Just Prince TV here, yo. Yo, it's coming out tomorrow. What are you doing? Go and get it. Because I got some news for you. Lloyd Banks is back. PLK is back. And he may possibly have the album of the year or potentially classic on our hands. I heard the album. And you know what? As a native New Yorker, as a guy from Queens, New York, I couldn't be more prouder than none other than Lloyd Banks. I'm proud of you, boy. I'm proud of you. This album has 18 tracks on it. This album is lyrical perfection, lyrical screed, gutter, heartfelt, soul being drift off from the body. A man telling you his pain. A man telling you stories like only a true lyricist could tell you. Mr. Lloyd Banks got a classic on his hands, or perhaps album of the year. This album has Benny the Butcher on it, Rock Marciano, Ransom, all right, Styles P, Vado. There's some good artists on this album. They all delivered. 18 tracks of great beats, lyrics. Just sit back and listen to this album. It's the #1 pre-ordered album in the world. Lloyd Banks, the most hyped, the most biggest release, most wanted albums of the year was Lloyd Banks. All right. And when you listening to this album, you're gonna feel like he's doing a lot of shots at 50. Like some of these songs are like bits and pieces of him doing shots at 50. You know, you can't keep a good artist like this down. He has the skill to deliver. And some of my favorite tracks on here, man. Early Exit, Food with Styles P, Death by Design, Propane with the hard numbing hit, like boom, boom, boom. Yo, listen, man, listen. This is deep. This is real hip hop. For some of you guys who can't take this ain't for you little babies. This ain't for you little niggas. This is for real hip hop. This is for real heads, real guys from the block, from that gutter hip hop, that Banks, PLLK, Punchline King. He delivered. Crown, the song with Benny Butcher. Man, I could go on and on. You need to get a hold of this album. You need to listen to this album. Get educated a little bit. Learn what real hip hop is. Learn the lyrics. Learn the beats. Learn the hoodie style, the culture. Okay? The gold chain wearing. The NYC subway getting on the train feel. The walking through the trenches feel. The standing on the block feel. The hustling through the corners feel. That gutter hip hop that we was raised on. Real hip hop. You got to go and get a taste of it. Because you know what? If you haven't experienced it then, you can experience it through the eyes of Lloyd Banks, Southside Jamaica, Queens own. Nobody do it like us Queens cats. Nobody do it. You're missing out on a great album if you don't listen to this Lloyd Banks album. I heard the whole thing. Fire. 18 cuts. Real hip hop. Okay? That shit that hits you in the face. Not that bubblegum commercial nonsense. Not that tight pants wearing. That beta male wearing. This is real hip hop. Like KRS-One said. All right? We don't rock with that garbage hip hop around here. This New York City. This NY. You know what we stand for? Real hip hop. He got his kid on the cover holding that. The kid is he's holding his kid's hand on the album cover. Lloyd Banks delivered. That show you right there. When an artist, especially from New York, got a kid on the cover, he's bringing you out his soul. All right? He's telling you his pain. you need to pick up this Lloyd Banks album. Listen, man, the only thing I have a problem with this album is the name. If an album, the name is too long, it kind of hit people over the head a little bit. The chords are inevitable, but you call it TCOTI. Okay? Say that's too long, So you're just gonna say the Lloyd Banks album. But you know what? This album is fire. Listen to the joint with Styles P, him and Styles P on it, called Food. There's some brothers already leaking some joints right now because catching wreck, But if y'all leaking joints, I know how we used to do on the block. Guys used to bootleg, hot albums that was on a verge of being released. The album is being released tomorrow. Okay? It's in competition with clout chaser like J Hood from D Block, saying his album was better than Lloyd Banks. Your album ain't touching this. My head was nodding. I was feeling it. He took me in the zone. He made me feel like I was back in New York, like I was back in Jamaica, Queens, Southern Boulevard, Jamaica Ave, Southside, Baisley Park, 40 Ps. What y'all know about that? Queens Cats. We all know about that. Queens Bridge, Ravenswood, Astoria, Woodside, Sunnyside, Flushing, Queens, nigga. Queens. What you know about it? What you know about it? It comes from the heart. Real hip hop. That $1.50 hip hop. It's my time. That's my era. Riding the number 7 train. Number 7 train take you all due Queens. That's the heart and soul of Queens. The number 7. The 7 line. There's a clothing line. Shout out to the number 7 line. Representing for Queens, keeping real hip hop thorough. The best artists come out of Queens. You know that by now. You should know that by now. Now, I love the album, but I am a little upset with the fact that, 50 Cent isn't on it. I hope those brothers really squash whatever they have. Get back together and make some albums, man. Get 50 up on here so he could get back on that gutter feel, man. I would love to have a 50 Cent Lloyd Banks track on here too, man. Or just him, Lloyd Banks, and Tony Yayo all on one track. Keep it gutter. But you know what? I guess this album had to have no G-Unit appearances. He wanted to break free from that shadow. And Christopher Lloyd Banks, you got the album of the year. All right? I don't know if Kendrick gonna drop. I don't know if anybody else gonna drop, because Kendrick has a lot of hype behind him too. Compton's own. Now, I got the 411 on him since I live here in California now. A lot of people tell me about him too. But when it comes to home, Queens, New York, they ain't nothing like it when it comes to hip hop. I really advise you guys to go and check this album out, man. If you really like real hip hop, you don't like bubblegum commercial hip hop, you come from my era, you will like this type of hip hop. If you come from the early 2000s to the 90s, you're going to like this style of hip hop because this is what we was raised on. This has a Cuban Links feel, only built for Cuban Links, with a touch of Illmatic, with a touch of Ready to Die, with a touch of Reasonable Doubt. It has all of it. With a touch of Black Moon, Enter the Stage of the Buckshot Shorty, which I know about that, with a touch of War Report. I could go on and name these classic street albums. Some of you probably never heard of. A touch of Lifestyles of the Rich and Poor, and of the Rich, Poor, and Dangerous. What y'all know about that? With a touch, a Spiff and Wesson. Okay? Man. Woo. Breath of fresh air. Breath of fresh air for hip hop, because we needed this. Thank you, Lloyd Banks, for bringing it back to the streets. Telling real tales of life. Because this is what hip hop was built on. Gutter beats, dope beats, lyrics to match, and thought-provoking music. So if you know anything about me, I was one never for fakeness. I was always down for real stuff. If it ain't real on the mic, I can't feel it. And I feel it. It hits the heart. And once it hit the heart, it's too real to ignore. discourse of the inevitable. It's too real. It's too real out here, man. It's too real out here. You gotta love it. You know, you gotta love it. You can say whatever you want about me, but one thing you can't say about me, I don't keep it fake. If I see something, I call it like it is. And right now, this Lloyd Banks album lives up to the reputation. PLK, all hell. You know, you got classic joints, you know. Woohoo! You know, I just advise you guys to go and listen to it, man. You know, me personally, I'm gonna see if I could just do a little snippet of some of these classics from Lloyd Banks. You know, R.I.P. Who I would love to see on this album, but he's not alive. Prodigy. I would love to see Prodigy on this album, man. It would have been great to have Prodigy on this album. Without a doubt, it would have been great to have Prodigy on this album. Now, let me see if I could get my Bluetooth connected. And I'm going to try to play a snippet, just a little taste of this real hip hop. Okay, I'm connected. So hopefully it works.
Merchandise to burn up and CDs to trample on my flawless record. Need my ego, big need me your Amazon camera phone. They show my name too long, maybe the camera's wrong. She out of line, you better check her shit. Working with flames on. 18 years old, I was golden brown with the tats covered. Classic material, troubled up in my scrapbook. Stumbled on to one of my demos, called a relapse from it. Polarized, my notes in this data made me immortalized. Fall off the truck. Around here, they don't give a fuck. I'm all about
French music.
I think it's time you live it up. You sit fresh out of luck.
Let me give you another example. Let me give you another example. Look. Oh, you heard that? You heard how the beat just rock away? Listen, man. Listen, check this one out.
Yo, $100 bills for sit-up drills. My Benji reps ignorant, and I don't give 2 fucks for Fendi F's. Learning by habit, consistency made the memory stretch.
Please, baby.
Lady and kiss the Bentley chest. Dig your way out the ground and spend a century stress. After you song for some Yahweh shit and kept the vets.
That's it. That's the taste of it. What I'm gonna give you right there. That's the taste of it right there. Now, if you like some real hip hop, why wouldn't you want to rock with that? Why wouldn't? That's just a taste. That's just a simple, easy, breezy taste. You know, that's it. So if you understand where I'm coming from, I hope you can feel me, understand where I'm coming from. Be like, yo, what is this dude talking about? This is what I'm talking about. Real hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Look. Just let the beat rock. Look. It's like he got these beats from the basement, hungry. Thanks. Now you could tell when he did that trailer for this album that he wasn't playing with it. He was going to take it back to the streets. And that's what Lloyd Banks did. He took it back to the streets. Classic album. Okay? This could be a classic album. Only time will tell, though. You know, you never know a classic till it gets released. And then you think about it as time goes by. Then you be like, oh, man, that was the joint. You know, classics, in order to have a classic album, you got to have the joint to stick to your ribs. You got to have a song that sticks to your ribs. And that's what this is doing. It's classic songs that stick to your ribs. You know? I'm going to play one more before I be out. Check this out. This one is called see how it goes.
You know what? You talk too much, you need to shut the fuck up. I'm shitting hard again, back off the dump truck. You underneath the tough look. I've been around the block before, no one's not celebrating consistently. Blue shit, never told you niggas one cup. I was falling apart inside, but kept my physical silence. You heard it sound, they don't try to me. I'm 52 blocked, that life is a bumpy ride. I had to kick a few to
Turn that up.
Probably could have forgave someone, but it's the principle.
Listen, man, that's real hip hop. That's the real hip hop. That's what I'm looking for. Not that commercialized stuff that you see on TV. This real hip hop when it's coming from the soul. This a guy giving you his soul right here. Buy that Lloyd Banks album. Just Prince TV. I'm out. I got to go and listen to some PLK.